Welcome to San Francisco, California, one of the most photogenic cities in the world. If you are thinking about sailboat racing, this is the place to be because events like American's Cup, SailGP, and Rolex Big Boat Series takes place here. We're at the world-famous San Francisco Yacht Club with more than 90 years of promoting, supporting, and inspiring sailors along the way. You're in the right place. You're on the right channel. We are about to watch one of the most exciting classes in the sailing world. Today, we have an incredible fleet with some of the top riders in the United States, and I bet we're gonna experience a lot of speed and action in the water. Hyderport Racing, the class that everyone wants to watch. Hello everyone, we are back here at the San Francisco Yacht Club for the last day of the US Open Sailing, and I'm very excited to be here with you today, and I hope everyone is doing well back at home. And get ready, my friend, because we're gonna get a lot of action. Today, we're gonna be also covering some of the IQ foil races, so that's gonna be exciting as well. They go very fast, and it's also a lot of action on the water. I'm very excited as well because Kelsey is again with us today. So how you doing, Kelsey?
I'm good, Hontus. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here again and watch some people go really fast out on the water. I'm also really excited to have the Team Hawaii Windsurfing coordinator join me, Callum Mcdonald. How are you doing, Tom?
Aloha, everybody. Super stoked to be here in San Francisco. A little bit colder than back home.
Yeah, I can imagine.
A lot of our team members from Hawaii actually didn't own wetsuits. So before we came to San Francisco, we had to buy some wetsuits.
It's an expensive one to buy.
So the Team Hawaii just came together actually in the last 6 months as IQ foiling became the Olympic class, windsurf foiling. In Hawaii, of course, like so many places, we were in COVID, so a lot of people were at home. Team sports were canceled. And so we put together a team of 4 teenagers and their coach, who's from the Dominican Republic, who lives in Kailua now. He married an American woman, who's also a competitor. So we have 4 teams, their coach and myself, representing Team Hawaii.
That's awesome. And it seemed like your team was doing pretty good in those results.
So we are mainly competing in the youth and junior class. So our leading youth sailor, JP, who's 16 years old, he's homeschooled, about a sophomore or junior. He won Long Beach, and he was invited to go to Garda to go to the Youth Worlds with 60 competitors. In his under 17, he came in the top 15, so he was really happy with his results there.
Well, that's awesome, and we're super excited to have your insights today. I'm going to go over a little bit of the conditions, and then do you want to walk everyone at home through the course?
I will. Yes, I'd be happy to.
All right, so we've got a pretty middle range breeze right now, a little bit lighter than what the forecast was predicting. It was predicting around 15 knots for right now. It looks a little lighter than that right now, but it's going to be another gusty day of sailing, and it's set to build throughout the day. By 4 p.m., it's going to be around 24 knots with gusts up into the 27, so our sailors are going to have a lot of sporty sailing today. The direction is really square from the west, which is really typical for San Francisco Bay Area summer sailing. It's a little skewed to the south right now, but I think it's going to be squaring off as the day goes on. And we're going to have a flood tide pretty much all day. It's a little bit slackier right now, and it's going to just build throughout the day.
Yes, indeed. Very exciting conditions here at San Francisco. For those of you who've been following it, lighter conditions around noon, and then with the wind picking up every afternoon. So the course is a typical upwind, downwind course. The start will be between the official boat and the pin, which is perpendicular to the direction of the wind, and then up to the upward, to the windward upwind mark, around once, down to the leeward mark, around again. So the 9-meter sails will do 2 laps, come back down through the leeward mark, and then around the mark to the finish next to the official boat. The women and the youth will do 1 lap. So the women are on 8-meter sails, as well as the youth. They'll do 1 lap, and the men will do 2 laps.
That sounds amazing. I'm very excited to watch the fleet racing. And will you tell me who is leading right now the fleet?
So we have a very exciting field of sailors, and the sailors representing Mexico are doing excellent. The top two sailors are from Mexico, Cristobal and Adrian. Adrian is previous coach. Cristobal is from Progreso on the Yucatan, where they have very good winds, and so he's doing very good in the number one position with 20 points. Number two is Adrian with 20 points. And then the third place is American sailor Alex Temko with 26 points. Those are the top three. The remaining field comes from both Mexico and our team from the Clearwater Community Sailing Center. We've got Noah, Maverick, and Justin, their coach, doing well. The independent sailor Xavier, who I'm proud to say is 55 years old, not too far away from me.
Wow, that's the way to go.
Has come in first in Long Beach. He's done very, very well. He's currently in fifth position. He's a very strong sailor, so we'll keep an eye out on number USA 451, Xavier. And then the top U.S. and Mexican sailors.
Right on. That's pretty amazing. Looks like the race is pretty tight on points. And how many discards are we gonna get in this event?
Haha, that's a good question. We haven't had that many discards. The starts have been very, very strong. Let's see if we go back to the men. You know, we've got, with all the top sailors, they've all been 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we've got some discards at the higher numbers, you know, when the sailors come in 7th or 9th. So it'll be a really good competition all day. I also wanted to say a few words about the women and youth.
Yeah, for the people at home who are new to watching sailing, do you want to go over what a throwout or a discard race is?
Yes, I will. And before I do that, if I may, can I go over the ranking for the women and youth?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So our Hawaii sailor, youth sailor JP, who's 16 years old, is in first place with 6 points. He's been doing very, very well. He's got ones across the board. The first day he had 4 ones, 4 first places, and a third place. The second day he had 4 first places and a 6th place. So this is a good example of what a discard is. So on that first day for JP, his last race, he came in 3rd. And so the 3 points that he got in his 3rd place position were discarded. So he went in with 4 first places, 4 points from the first day, 4 first places from the second day. His 6th place was discarded. So he has a total of 8 points instead of adding up all the numbers.
Right. I know in sailing, our sailing instructions will usually say, like, if you do 5 races, you get 1 throwout. Do you know what that ratio is for today?
You know, actually, that's a good question. With only 3 races, it's a total of 13. I'm not sure if they're discarding one of the races. I would imagine they would be, because it's a day of racing. There's only 3 races. So I would hope that they would plan to discard one.
Yeah.
But we can check on that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We're gonna be able to see the fleet racing pretty shortly. They are on the course right now. They're getting ready. I think we are 1 minute away from the starting sequence, and all of them, they're already on the water. They are testing right now the starting line. They are going a little bit, you know, pretty much checking the conditions, the current and everything. So that's what you want to do before the start. You want to warm up and trim your sail and get ready for the race, because you really want to perform the best.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see. A lot of these sailors are not from the Bay Area, so they don't have the same local knowledge that a lot of our kite foilers will have. It'll be interesting to see if they pick up on the flood tide and the advantage of coming close to the shore and riding that current relief.
Yeah, and let's see. Here we go.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, march.
So that's 3 minutes till the start.
Yeah, so it's getting exciting right here at the San Francisco Yacht Club with this amazing view here on the race deck. There's a couple sailboats on the course, but hopefully they are not gonna be on the wave. But look at this, it's so flat right now. The course is looking very good. Looks like it's perfect for this racing day.
Yes, indeed. So as we get closer to the start, the racers will be getting in position. As they approach the start and the 1 minute warning, they'll be on a starboard tack. So all sailors will be coming up in the same direction, right hand forward on starboard. And the first decision that we'll be looking for is whether they head toward the beach or they tack more
7,
quickly.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
There, 2 minutes till the start of this first race.
So we can see the red sails getting in position. At this point, they start to head out. Most have timed it at the 2 minute warning, so they can go out for about a minute or 45 seconds, and then they can jibe. Most jibe because they can maintain speed. And all the sailors want to be hitting that starting line at the maximum speed possible without going over. Of course,
We have about a minute and a half left in this start sequence till the sailors are off. Yeah, I think that most of the sailors will come all the way to the shore to get that current relief. But we did see in the days leading up to this event, at least in the hydrofoilers,
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
it's 1 minute till the start of this race. But it will be interesting to see if anybody tries to do a port tack start, which can be risky. But I know a lot of our hydrofoilers were trying that risky approach.
I believe for now the rules remain that you have to start on starboard.
Oh.
I know they're thinking about that so that some sailors can strategically start on port
Yeah.
tack, but I believe we'll see everybody starting with their right hand forward.
Okay, I didn't realize that in windsurfing you could only start on starboard. That's interesting.
Yeah, it gets everybody going in the same direction.
So we have 20 seconds till the start of race 1 for the last day of the U.S. Open Sailing Regatta. 15 seconds.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
Wait, and they're off. Not a lot of line sag. The sailors look really solid. All coming towards the shore. What do you think about this, Tom?
First of all, a good start for everybody. It looks like some people in the back are pumping to get up on the foil. The wind is lighter than previous days. The 3 sailors closest to the boat look like they're having a bit of a struggle getting up on foil. The sailors closer to the pin are doing better as they head toward the beach. With the red sails, it's hard to identify the individual sailors. As they get closer, we'll be able to do so. But we'll look for the Mexico flag and the USA flag as they come closer to.
Yeah, it's also looking like starboard tack's a little bit headed, so I know that they're going to have current relief in here, but that headed tack definitely isn't the most direct way of wind.
That's right. Yeah. So then we have our first tack, it looks like.
Yeah, and looks like everyone right now, some of the riders already going on port towards the top mark. And that was a great start. We didn't get any confirmation. Looks like that was a clear start from all of them, like Tom said. And that's so exciting because it's amazing how they time it perfectly. Tom, will you tell me like how many times do you practice the start in a week?
It takes a lot of practice to get that perfect. You want to be on the starting line right at that 0 time. And you've started and you're at 3 seconds and then 2 seconds and 1 second, then over by 1 second. So to get it perfectly at 0 takes quite a bit of practice. And of course it's different in every condition, so you have to adapt.
So, Tom, we've talked a lot over this weekend about the average speed of the hydrofoilers, but can you talk a little bit about the speed of the windsurfers out here?
So windsurfers on average in any race are going between 20 and 25 knots. Today the winds are a little bit lighter than previous days. As you mentioned, it looks like it's about 12 or 13. So they're probably approaching, they'll approach 20 knots on the downwind runs.
Wow.
And going upwind, of course, they're going a little bit slower as they're trying to get into the wind. Going about wind speed, maybe faster, 18 knots. So it gets really exciting when the wind picks up to about 20. We've had speeds getting close to 30 knots on the Windsurfer, which is really exciting.
And of course, today's a really flat water day, and that's, because of the flood as well, it's going to be a little bit flatter in the light breeze. But how do these guys handle chop? Because San Francisco Bay is notorious for our choppy conditions.
So all IQ foilers are on a 95 centimeter mast. So the foil, the space between the foil and the board is about a meter. And the chop in San Francisco is about a meter. So they're rounding the top mark there. And we're going to check to see who's in the lead. It's a U.S. flag. It's 451. So, sorry, that's number 6. So that's Alex.
Yeah, and we can see that they are going right now downwind, 2 U.S. flags on the top. And that's an incredible fight also for the top 5 riders. Then they are going around the top mark right now. Those incredible how they go so close, and that's the thing, the difference between the windsurfers and the kiters, then they can really get pretty close. I mean, with I would say less risk because they cannot get tangled. So even they can touch each other, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's cool to watch the windsurfers as a sailor because it's a little bit easier to follow. It looks a lot more like traditional sailing with the way it's all set up. So it's easier to see how the rules and the dynamics and the tactics are all a little bit more similar to the mother sport.
So we can see our leaders in the 9-meter men's division are getting close to the downwind mark. The sailor from Clearwater, Noah, number 9, was in the lead. We'll see who makes it around the downwind mark first.
They have a gate just like the hydrofoilers. Yeah, which gate do you think they should go to?
So with light wind, they're going to the gate closest to shore and coming around back toward shore as they did on the start. So going back into starboard position toward the shore for the second upwind.
I think that's the right call. I mean, you've got the current relief over there because it is flooding. Looks like these guys have really picked up on how to get upwind in the San Francisco Bay.
I think generally that served most sailors the best is heading toward shore. Of course, the wind can be stronger as you get closer to the center of the bay. So some choose to tack more quickly if they lose wind, even though they get the current relief. It's always a trade-off between this very strong flooding current, right, and the strength of the wind, which can often be stronger as you get closer to the center of the bay.
I'm seeing a little bit more pressure out in the center, but it doesn't look like that big of a differentiation. So can you tell me a little bit about how current affects these guys? I know Hontos was saying that in the hydrofoils, the current's not as big of a factor as it is in traditional sailing. So what about windsurfing?
So the biggest effect is coming upwind and tacking. Unlike the kiteboard foilers, you come off the foil to tack, and so you do a quick jump to the other side to go from starboard to port, and at that moment the board comes off the foil. If you're in a 3 mile an hour current, then you're losing ground toward your lay line. So you have to time that. So often you have to maybe go a second or 2 or 3 seconds past your lay line, get ready for the tack as you drift with the current.
That's very interesting. So how much of the percentage you will say that the maneuvers here in IQ foil it takes place during a race? Because it looks like it's a little bit more risky, those maneuvers as well. I mean, the two of them, they go in foils very fast.
It's true. The tacking maneuver is incredibly important as you're going upwind, and doing that quickly. And importantly, getting back on foil. I mean, every fraction of a second you're off foil, you're losing time.
Yeah, I always talk about not leaving any seconds on the course. Yeah. So can you tell me who's in front right now? Because he looks like he has a pretty good lead on the rest of the fleet. Do you know who that is?
So we've got 2 sailors, one with the Mexico flag and the other with no flag designation, but with the pink helmet. And one coming straight for me. We can't see those numbers. So number 6. So number 6 is the sailor from Clearwater, Florida. That's Noah. Noah's 20 years old. He's a college student studying microbiology. Excellent sailor. He's in first currently.
Oh, and look at that. That was the good shot. We see how he did attack. It was very impressive how he went from one side to the board to the other one, switching the sail and getting back on the foil very fast. That was, I would say, I don't know, I haven't seen so many of these maneuvers, but they are doing well. And here we go. He's going around the top mark. Look at those top, the 4 places behind. They're so close. And that guy, oh, he barely made it. Hopefully he's not going to get tangled. Oh, yo, yo. My friend, he lost it. He fell down. Oh, my friend, he was on second place and he lost it. That's the thing. As well in this fleet, you get out of the foil and you could be on troubles, and he is behind the fleet right now. He was doing an incredible job.
Yeah, that Bearway was definitely an exciting one. Can you talk a little bit about rights? Do you think that guy had room, or like those windward boats needed to give him room, Tom?
He came around that mark very close, but I don't think it was a matter of right away. I think it looks like he actually hit the mark.
Okay, so does he have to do a 360 then?
If he made his way around the mark, no, he does not.
Interesting. So you don't have to do a 360
well,
if you've touched the mark in windsurfing?
You know, I have to check that, but he did not come around the mark again, so I'm assuming he did the right thing.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, that was pretty exciting watching them. And that's the thing. They are really fighting out there. And we can see the U.S. flag is leading right now. And here's a rider from Clearwater. He's Alexander. He's leading right now. He's pumping. He wants to get more power out of that sail. He's going through the gate, and he's approaching to the last mark. He will need to do another jibe in order for him to be in the last stretch of the course. And look at that. He's touching down a little bit. I'm not sure. Probably he's like losing some speed. Maybe he went into a hole. But here we go. He is foiling. He's looking very consistent right now. And he's one jibe away. And here we go. There is his jibe. Look at that, leaning into the... Oh, my friend. That was a nice jibe.
Nice jibe by Noah. So that's Noah number 6 from Clearwater. Who's a teammate of Alex's, also from Clearwater, as he comes close to the finish line.
Yeah, he must be feeling so great, too. He has such a nice lead on the rest of the fleet, so that's always a really great feeling.
And here comes Noah.
And here we go. Noah is approaching, and he's the rider taking the first bullet on the first race here on the final day on the U.S. Open Sailing. What a great race for him. I bet he's very happy right now with a huge smile. I can not really see who is approaching on second place, but that was very exciting race. Definitely that other rider who was struggling on the top mark. But he was doing incredible, and that was a great race.
So Noah is currently in 6th position, but with that first position, his ranking will go up. It looks like Ethan, number 35, who's from Austin, Texas, did quite well.
Yeah, do you think that if Noah continues to sail like that, he'll be able to jump into a podium finish for the regatta?
So Noah currently has 33 points, and so if he has a bunch of firsts and the leaders, don't do as well, he can gain. Let's see, he's currently in 6th, so he has to get into 3rd. The 5th position is 32 points. The 4th position is 31 points. So it's very close, 4th, 5th, and 6th. So yes, he does.
Definitely a gap he can climb up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I remember in Long Beach, that was the IQ foils were the tightest race.
That's
no,
right.
they were so tight. In the end, they were fighting for the first place. I remember.
That's right. It was incredibly close.
And the Mexican rider, I guess Cristobal.
No,
it was Alex. Alex was leading. Alex was leading in Long Beach,
right.
And on that final day, they were tied on with the same point. Something that was so tight, and it was very tight.
It was very close. The two Alexes, Alex Torres from Mexico and Alex Temko from Florida, and Xavier were very close. 1, 2, 3. So it came down to that last.
Yeah.
day.
So that's the thing here. Also in IQ foil. That's also the thing that you really, if you see the first place going away, something will happen. And the thing is, we are riding on foils, and in order for you to control the foil in such a high speed, you need to develop great skills. It really takes time to perform in the way those guys are doing it. And that's the thing with the pressure. If you are tired, if you don't take the right decision, like you are rushing your maneuvers, you could touch down. You could ended up losing the whole thing and losing the race. Like that other guy ended up losing his race. He was in second place. He was doing incredible.
Yes, indeed. So currently on the screen, we have the women and youth sailors coming in. The youth sailors are on white boards. They're a little bit smaller. They're 155 liters instead of close to 200 liters. So we just saw Mani Pauatini, who's from Kailua, our hometown, who came in with the pink jersey. And it looks as if, let's see, the youth.
All right, so that was the first race of the final day here in the U.S. Open Sailing here at the incredible and amazing place, San Francisco Yacht Club. We are coming back in a couple minutes.
Is there anywhere we can get the results? Can I send this to somebody?
Yeah, you can keep it on here.
Formula Kite Spain Series first race. Man, oh, we got a crash. We got a huge tangle on the starting line. Look at that. Teo, Cuddy, Alejandro, Simon, and pretty much the Hamilton fleet is getting tangled on the starting line. I can't believe it. I can't remember when was the last time I saw a huge tangle like that.
Good. Whoa! Come on!
Dennis Taradin, he's approaching to the second mark for the first lap. Man, Carlos got tangled with the black kite. Gisela Pulido barely went in front of them, and she just saved it. Approaching the second place, Dennis Taradin, he's taking over. Marcus Edric and Whitworth from in. Dennis Taradin, what's happening? Dennis lost it with a massive crash. He almost got tackled with Marcus. This is insane. Formula Kite Spain Series second race. Everyone clear. Dennis Taradin, he's coming. Marcus Edrigan, he's stuck in right in front of Dennis Taradin. Oh, my friend. Oh, Dennis Taradin, he almost killed Marcus Edrigan. This is insane. Look at that boy flying in front of Marcus. Dennis just saved his life. This is insane. What's happening, my friend? He's crashing, he's landing on top of the fleet. They were coming on a starboard. This is insane. I hope they're okay down there.
Right on, we are back. Everything is ready for the second race of the day. I'm very excited to watch this fleet going on here at the San Francisco Yacht Club. It was very exciting last race, a couple crashes around the course. We are gonna see, we're gonna try to get the results pretty soon so we get the update on who is leading right now, but so far so good.
Yeah, I'm really excited to watch this one. We're about a little over a minute away from the start, and I'm also excited to
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
less than a minute to the start, but I'm also excited to watch the women and the youth compete in this heat.
Yes, indeed. The women and the youth are on 8-meter sails. We have one junior sailor who's on a 7-square-meter sail. They're on slightly different equipment.
That's 40 seconds or 30 seconds till the start of the race. All these guys are setting up right now, getting ready to start. 20 seconds. 15 seconds.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
And a great start, a little bit of line sag it looks like, but pretty good boat speed and acceleration from all the competitors, all starting on starboard and coming over to the shore to get that current relief.
Normally at this time of the day, we're seeing slightly stronger winds. We don't seem to see that today. Just slight whitecaps on the water, not much at all. As the fleet heads towards the beach, we have 1 or 2 people tacking.
And we can see how one of the signs that it's a little lighter is because they are pumping, right? That when they rider, the person is kind of like moving the sail, up and down, or when they are moving it is when they are pumping. So that means and they want to get more power so they can keep foiling and keep going faster.
The worst thing to do is to come off the foil, and so indeed, if you feel yourself coming off the foil, you'll either head slightly downwind or you'll pump to stay up on the foil.
Yeah, I think in all aspects, like all variants of sailing, at least traditional sailing and kiting, I think that it's hardest to sail in the lighter air, but luckily the forecast is set to build, so hopefully it'll make the last race for these guys a little bit more exciting.
And it's amazing to see that glassy water and see everybody up on foil. And so that's kind of the miracle of the IQ foil and what makes racing so exciting. If this was an RSX race, you would see 25 people pumping their lights out. And here we have everybody up on foil as they head upwind.
Right. And to be going those speeds in this light air it's pretty unbelievable. And it's really exciting to watch.
So these 9 square meter sails and these 220 cm long boards, almost 200 liters, are made to go in a very extensive range from as light as 6 knots all the way up to 30 knots.
Can you talk to me a little bit about the tactical elements of going upwind? In sailing, we like to tack on our ships, and really it's like chess. We're playing a game out there. I know the hydrofoils don't really play that game so much. They kind of just go for speed and least amount of maneuvers. What about these guys?
Well, speed, of course, is the most important, and even more than that is staying on the foil. And so if you're getting a lull in the wind and your ley line comes up, you may decide to continue until you get a gust of wind.
Yeah, that makes
sense. So you
sense.
can quickly get back up on the foil. The worst thing to do is to come off the foil during attack and not quickly get back on.
Right, and they probably want to minimize their maneuvers since they have to stop foiling every time they change directions.
So as they're approaching their upwind mark, they've tacked once, and now we're seeing the second tack. So we see two sailors pretty aggressively trying to get up their ley line. With this flooding tide, let's see if they can make it.
Oh yeah, and look at that. The guy who was leading, he ended up getting a stock, and the other U.S. flag, he is taking the lead right now, and that's the thing, the maneuver, that's so important, and he couldn't make it. He was losing a lot of time, and he ended up a little bit behind the fleet, but that's incredible how they went so fast around the mark, and look at that. Pretty much they're ripping downwind right now.
Yeah, and I know these guys are doing great, but I also just want to draw a little bit of attention to the fact that the women and children are getting ready to start right now. I think they're about a minute away from the start of their race, so we're going to have to check in on that in a second as well.
So exciting downwind with Noah, number 6 in the lead, followed by 2 of the Mexican sailors, and then the other U.S. sailor, Alex Temko, who's coming behind. So very exciting.
Oh my God! Look at this great shot. We got him diving right there with such an amazing maneuver. That was such a great shot, and he is delivering great performance. He is leading the fleet, and he's approaching to the gate on the bottom of the course. Let's see what they're gonna do. It's floating very hard. It's very, actually, I would say, and it's not really normal looking crazy field, so flat.
Right.
This is perfect conditions, but the thing is the tide, it's very strong. That's why it's so flat. So that's a good thing, but also the tide is taking a huge factor. And
Right.
here we go. They are taking, that's the way to go. Taking the right decision to go on the left-hand side of the course so they don't get so much tide current on the foil,
Right.
so they can go and do well.
And you can see as they round that mark, you can see the flood currently, like you can see the wake on the mark. So that's a good indication on how you can tell what the current's doing. I think these guys are really just playing the same tactics they did on the last race, going to the shore, getting in that current relief. I mean, these guys have figured out San Francisco Bay.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They are going right now towards the beach, and that's the way they are gonna go with no tide, making it harder for them. But look at this. They are really doing very well. Some of them, they are deciding to tack right now, but look at that. The other sailor, he went all the way to the corner on the left-hand side, and he's just tacking. Let's see if that is gonna pay off. I can see a pressure
Yeah.
coming up here close to the jack club, and this is getting very interesting. Let's see who's gonna be the one getting to the top mark.
Right, and another thing that we haven't really talked much about this weekend is when you come really close to the shore, there might be a little bit less pressure, but there's also going to be a nice lift there as the wind hits the shore. So not only are these sailors going to get the current relief, they're also going to get a lifted tack, which is going to be advantageous. I think these guys are really, who are banging the left-hand side, are really like observant and understanding how the course is working and really capitalizing on all that knowledge.
Yes, indeed. Our leading sailors are in the lead today. We have Noah from the U.S. and Alex Temko, and then we've got Cristobal, Mexico number 17, as well as Adrian with the hot pink helmet, the coach from Cancun, Mexico number 9.
Have we been paying attention at all to how the women and the youth division has been doing? Because I think their race just started.
Yeah, it looks like they just started.
Yes, indeed. The women and youth just started. The youth on the whiteboards, the women on the blue boards. JP from our Team Hawaii is in the lead, followed by always the hot orange-pink shirt, Mani, also from Kailua.
Looks like we have a kite flying across the race course right now. Hopefully everybody avoids that. Nice little obstacle.
It's kind of a small kite. Should be okay.
Yeah, add some color.
And looks like they're approaching to complete the second lap. And here we go. He's going around the top mark. He's still leading the fleet. He's doing incredible. But look at that fight for the second place. Oh, that was nice rounding. The Mexican flag on second place. Another Mexican flag on the second place. That could be probably Cristobal and Adrian. And they are doing incredible. That was such a nice rounding.
So we had Noah from the U.S., followed by Alex, Mexico, number 201, followed by Cristobal, number 17.
That's amazing. They
Heading
are doing incredible out there. This is such a nice day to race here at the San Francisco Yacht Club. Incredible. This is a great view.
Yeah, and they're doing a really nice job of staying out in the middle for their downwind leg. You know, there's going to be stronger flood tide there, and they can ride that all the way down to the finish. The leader has a nice lead. I think he's going to have a comfortable sail to that finish line. What do you think, Contos?
Yeah, that's going to be very exciting. They are driving right now, and we are right here behind the Mexican flag. Probably that's Cristobal, which is in second position right now. That was a nice jibe, and they're approaching to the gate. This is not over. We can see the other Mexican flag. It's arriving. That's probably Alex Torres. And yeah, that's the number 617. And oh, my friend, that jive was so close. But here we go. They're approaching to the last mark on the bottom of the course. And the fight for the second place is very tight right now.
Yeah, and they're doing a really nice job of having really clean mark roundings, really textbook. So that's really impressive, and it really shows how good their boat handling is.
Beautiful jibe by Noah. Reaching for the finish line. So that reach is very, very exciting. You know, on an upwind, downwind course, the race committee decided to end on a reach.
Yeah, that's always the most precarious point of sale in sailboats as well.
Indeed. And so when you have this group of 4 people just screaming, reaching for the finish line, number 1 is Noah, and then you have 2, 3, and 4, pretty close, 5. And then, there are all these smaller races that are going on in a large fleet. And so the
Right.
second group of 4 or 5 sailors are also getting close.
Yeah, these top 5 sailors are super tight. It just shows how close the fleet really is.
And here we have the second group.
And it looks like our women and youth are maybe at the top of the fleet right now.
Yes, indeed. So we always have good competition between JP and Danica, our Hawaii sailors, and Bryn, who's from Florida. And then we have Mani and Callum, also from Hawaii. It looks like Bryn from Florida is headed to the downwind mark first with JP behind her. We also have a very good competition between the Mexico sailor Mateo and Mani and Callum from Hawaii. It looks like they're getting close to rounding the windward mark there.
And that's very cool. Then, I guess are they sailing with a smaller sail, Tom, or are they holding the same size of sail than the other fleet?
Yes, they are. So the women are on 8 square meter sails, and then the youth are also on 8 square meter sails.
Wow!
And
So-
they allow the junior sailors to go down to a 7 square meter sail.
All right. So imagine, I remember I was doing windsurfing back in the day, and holding that 7-meter sail over 20 knots. That's pretty powerful, right?
Especially if you only weigh 100 pounds.
Yeah. And here, Crucifio, I mean, right now it's not that windy, but we're expecting a little bit more wind a little later today.
Yeah, and those guys have been out here all weekend, and it's been, 20 knots pretty much all weekend. This is the lightest day we've seen.
Yeah. So that's such an incredible job what all of these sailors are doing. They are really, they're holding those sails. Yesterday was a bigger day for them, and that's the thing. You really want to be prepared your body for these type of competitions because it's 3 days back to back, and you want to push 100% every single race.
And so for some of these youth and women sailors, this is their first competition here in San Francisco. So Dominique Stater, who's a U.S. sailor, has a background in RSX sailing, but this is her first time on the IQ foiler. And B. Lindsay, who's a Yale, going into her junior year at Yale. This is her first competition.
Yeah, that's super impressive. They must be super stoked to be getting around the course so well.
They are. It's a great experience and a great opportunity for us to really build this class,
Right.
especially with the youth and juniors. Juniors can go down to a 5 square meter sail, so 5, 6, 7. And then when you upgrade to the youth class, you're on an 8 square meter sail.
Okay.
So the final.
All right, so we are about 30 seconds away from the U flag down, so that's 2 minutes till the start of the last race of this event for our adult class of kite surfers here today. I'm really excited to see what these guys do.
Yes, indeed.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
All right, so we have 1 minute left until the start of the last race for our adult men windsurfers here at the U.S. Open Sailing Regatta. I'm really excited to see how this event closes. I bet these guys are pretty tired and ready to be off the water, but they've had a great regatta with some really tight sailing, and it's been awesome to watch them.
And meanwhile, we have our women and youth sailors rounding their final upwind mark. We've got Bryn coming around, followed by JP and Danica.
All right, we have 25 seconds to the start of this race. Gonna keep an eye on this approach and setup. 15 seconds until the class flag goes down and these guys are off on their last race.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
And a great start on these guys. Not a lot of line slag, great acceleration and going to the left. We have some people already tacking out, so that's a little different this race.
Yes, indeed. And while the men start, the women and youth are finishing their race. So you can see sails kind of going in opposite directions.
That's going to be fun and add a little bit of element of obstacle to an interaction also.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it looks like a good start.
Do you have sailors on both teams, Tom?
We do. We have our coach who's Sammy, who's from the Dominican Republic, but now lives in Kailua. He's on. He's in the men's class on a 9 square meter sail, and he's about in the middle of the fleet,
Okay.
building his competitive position.
Do you think they ever cheer each other on when they pass each other on the course?
Well, it's shall we say, friendly competition.
Oh, I mean, not within the fleet, but like
Yeah.
if he sees his juniors coming down when he's going upwind.
Oh, definitely will. He'll give us a big hoot. But what's great is having 4 teen sailors who are friendly with one another,
Yeah.
supportive of one another, but also competitive. They really push
Right.
each
No,
other.
if you can leave it on the water, that's the
Yeah,
key. Yeah. Sometimes I struggle with that.
Yeah, but it's really key to building a team and that team ethic, especially for Team USA, thinking about its competitiveness going into the Olympics.
Right.
It's really great to see all of the adult and youth sailors supporting each other, trading information, helping each other with tactics. When competition comes, competition day arrives, but when we debrief, everybody is happy to exchange information, which is a really great thing.
Yeah, that is a great thing. Are these the men sailors starting to get up to the top mark, or are these just some stragglers from the women and youth group?
So these final 2 sailors rounding the windward mark are in the youth group.
Okay, it looks like we have a capsize.
That's the Mexican youth Mateo on the whiteboard.
Okay. It looks like our leader for the adult men's class is approaching this weather mark though right now. It really shows how great this men's class is. And it looks like Mateo has been able to recover, so hopefully he can finish up this race.
Yeah.
Is there a time limit for these races? Like in sailing, sometimes we'll have like a 10-minute time limit between the first boat and the last boat to keep these races close.
So for the men's races, that hasn't been a factor.
Okay.
For the women's and youth, they decided to limit their race to 1 lap
Okay.
to make sure that everybody gets in on time. We do have a sailor down at the mark on a whiteboard. It looks like a youth sailor.
Right. So is that still Mateo there?
No.
No, another one.
That is... It looks like he's stuck on the windward mark.
Right.
So the approaching sailors have to be a bit careful there.
And those bearways can be so tricky. I can imagine that being a difficult maneuver to master, especially when
Yeah.
you're a youth and probably in one of your first regattas. But here comes the men. Do you see who's in the lead right now?
As they're approaching, I see flat red sails, and I can't see any numbers. As they round the windward mark, we'll be able to see the numbers clearly. Oh, so look at that. We've got the bright orange helmet. The Mexican coach, Adrian, who rounded the mark first.
He must be super stoked.
Yeah. He's a super strong sailor. He's also a road biker, which that explains his very, very strong legs.
Do you know how long he's been at this IQ foiling for?
I know he was the coach. Actually, he was in Tokyo with the RSX Olympic class sailing, and so he's just come and joined us in San Francisco. He's, like most of us, been at RSX for just a year. That's a great shot of Adrian, the Mexican sailor there, with his very distinctive bright orange helmet.
Yeah. He's just flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine how it feels to go that fast.
Yeah.
It looks so fun.
Just floating, flying over the water. Isn't it great?
Yeah.
And then we'll check this one sailor who seems to be caught on the windward mark.
Do you guys have like a help rule? Like if this coach boat tries to help them get unstuck, will that automatically disqualify him?
It appears to be, because he's not rushing to help him. So I think they're giving the sailor a chance to get himself untangled.
Right, and the sailor probably wants to do it by himself so he can finish this race. It's kind of a blow to the ego, but it's worse to bow out of the race.
Yeah. Oh boy, he must have just rounded that mark too closely and got his foil stuck on the line.
And that's incredible. They are just going around the gate. And look at that. Adrian is leading and he's delivering great performance. And I remember when I met him in Mexico long time ago. Adrian has like a long career in the windsurfing. He has been coaching the Mexican team for such a long time. But also he's coaching the Brazilian team. Then they just got a couple medals in the Pan American Games as well. So he has a bunch of experience on the water, a lot of knowledge of sailing. And look at that. He's leading the fleet right now with a good gap between him and the second place. That's an amazing job.
Yeah, no, he's doing a really great job of keeping his lead and consolidating on the fleet. Really nice protection. I really like his tactics. He's coming into the shore. He's going to have that current relief. Maybe get a little bit of lift as he gets closer, and he'll have the prime spot to tack over and be weather on the fleet as they go out to the more breeze and get that ley line to the weather mark.
Yeah, and we can see that some of the sailors, they decided to tack a little bit earlier. Adrian went all the way to the left-hand side of the course. Oh, my friend, he's struggling to get up. He's struggling to get back on the foil, but he's pumping right now, and he's finally foiling. And look at that. He's leaning into the sail. Like, when you see the sailors coming closer to the water is when they are getting more speed and they can hold that power. And look at that, how he's leaning away from the sail. He's like getting a great angle right now towards the top mark. And that's going to be very exciting because I can see more pressure towards the top mark right now.
Yeah. And like the light air is definitely a risk of coming too close to this side, but it seems like he's really cracked the code for basic San Francisco city front tactics. So really nice race, really nice way to end the regatta for Adrian.
Yeah, and look at this shot. This is what I was explaining a little bit. We can see how he's leaning away from the sail. He's like really getting all of that wind into the sail, and he's touching that a little bit, but that's a great show. What we are having here in the San Francisco Yacht Club, this is an incredible day so far, and this is amazing.
Yeah, I really hope he can hold it. I'm cheering him on.
Let's see if he's gonna be able to hold that lead until the end. Hopefully he's gonna be able to seal the deal and get the bullet, because he's sitting on second place in the
Yeah. So Huntus, tell me, do you think that the women and youth classes have started their last race as well yet? Ooh,
oh my
that's
God!
such a close duck.
Oh my God! That was so close. The U.S. flag just crossing in front of Adriano on the starboard.
That does mean that Adrian's not in first right now, that U.S. boat.
That's a good one, exactly.
Right?
So that means that he just lost 2 places right now.
Super close racing. It's anybody's game.
Oh my friend, yeah. Let's see if he's gonna be able to catch up with the top two sailors.
Yeah,
and they're going around the top mark right now.
The weather
that was
mark
the thing.
has a little bit more of an obstacle. We still have a capsized boat struggling, I think, from the youth class. From the race before.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's pretty dangerous because with the foil, oh my friend, it's like a machete like on the water and a high speed. And let's see what's gonna happen.
So we had very close competition coming up to the top mark between number 96 Alex and number 6 Noah from the U.S. and chasing them close were Adrian, number 9 from Mexico. So it's going to be an exciting finish.
Yeah, it's going to be such a tight fight between the three of them. That was an incredible dive. Good execution. Touching that a little bit, but he's back on the foil. And look at that. He's kind of getting ready, touching his head. And he is getting ready for the last stretch of the course. Let's see if he's going to be able to hold it. So far, so good. He's doing it, but he needs to keep focus and stay on the flow.
Rounding the upwind mark is Zach from Canada, ex-Olympian, 4 Olympic campaigns in the RSX, new to IQ foiling, and this is one of his first couple races, doing pretty well considering.
That's amazing. I mean, the sailors that we are watching right now, that you are watching at home, they have a lot of experience, a lot of experience, and some of them, like Tom said, they have a couple Olympic campaigns, and that's amazing.
My
The
guess
level
is,
right now in the
If
water.
he's new to this, he's going to be climbing up in this fleet pretty fast.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That gives you a perspective of how high the level is right here in this event at the U.S. Open Sailing here in San Francisco, California. And here we go. He's going around the last mark. Let's see if he's gonna be able to hold it. Couple of them that are pretty close. Let's see if he's gonna be able to cross the finish line. I cannot really see the name, but the U.S. flag is approaching to the finish line, and that's
looks like the U.S. flag is in second.
Oh my God! I guess Alex got it. Tom, let's see.
I think that's Alex Tempko coming across the line for the third and final race of this summer's U.S. Sailing sponsored Olympic development programs. Just a fabulous finish as you see everybody come toward the finish line.
That's amazing. That was such a tight race between all of them. What a great job.
Yeah, Alex must be stoked. He sailed a super great race. Adrian as well. I bet he's a little bit disappointed for losing it, but he definitely held it for the first half of that race.
Yeah, and that's it gives you into perspective how those maneuvers are so important. And I think the key part of that race, that was him going a little bit farther on the left-hand side. He went a little bit into that hole. When he completed the tag, he got stuck over there. So I think that was the key moment of the race for him. Then he those spots.
It really shows how in this fleet of boats, like, the wind is more important than the current relief. It's always going to be more advantageous to go for that higher pressure.
Yes, indeed. I mean, when winds are this strong, even though they're not tremendously strong today, you're talking 12 to 15 knot winds and a 3-knot current. So getting those gusts of wind, staying up on the foil, making those strategic decisions about when to tack and when to jibe is what the race is all about.
And I am seeing some baby white caps right here in front of the club, so I'm thinking that it might build a little bit for these hydrofoilers when they come out. Tell me, Tom, have the youth and women division, have they started yet? Because I'm still... it doesn't look like I've seen their start yet.
Yeah, it looks like, they just took off. They are halfway.
If the cameraman can get a shot of the upwind buoy, you can see the official boats helping that youth sailor with the white board untangle his foil. That would be good. So I think that's what's been the delay. Here we have a shot of B. Lindsay, 3, 2, 1.
And that was the thing. He was struggling. That sailor in the top mark was struggling for such a long time. They are even dragging the mark because the foil gets stuck on the mark, and it's just it's so hard to get it out of it. And with the tide as well, that makes it even more harder. It makes it harder to get it out of the mark.
So there you have 2 official boats. The sailor's just gone into the water to get back on top of his board, raise his sail, and hopefully join the racers.
Yeah. Okay, I'm wondering if that really was the start or if this is our adult men going up to Chrissy for the day. It looks like that youth sailor that was stuck at the top mark is finally free and heading back downwind. That kind of indicates to me that maybe they haven't started this race yet. Yep, it seems like we're in a countdown.
7,
Yes, we are.
5, 4, 3.
Yes, indeed, you were correct. That's a youth sailor from Hawaii, number 88, who got stuck on that upwind buoy. Happens to be my son. That's Callum Mcdonald, 14 years old, his first racing series. But he's hanging in there. Look, he's back up on his board and sailing down.
You know what? He's a champ. He's a fighter. He's stuck with it. He's going to keep racing.
105 pounds. He's the only junior sailor out here. So we're going to try by next summer to build up that junior fleet for the U.S. and Mexico to be competitive and Canada to be competitive. We really need the next generation of junior sailors to come up.
And it looks like we've got some kites filtering down. So It's going to be a nice backdrop for this last race of the women and youth and junior sailors. All right, we've got 20 seconds till the U flag goes down.
Actually, that's kind of nice to have the 9-meter men out of the way as they sail back up the Cruci, I believe.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
So that's 1 minute until the last race for the youth and the women. The 9-meter men, I think, are out. I think they're headed back to Chrissy Field right now. In front of the club right now, we have our 9-meter men. I think they're tacking upwind to go back to Chrissy Field for the day. We have one more race for the Windsurfers, and it's just the youth and women's. We're about 30 seconds away from the start of this last race, and it should be a quick one.
That's exactly right. The men are heading back to the beach, and so this is a chance for us to really focus on the women and youth sailors right in front of Alcatraz. What a shot that is.
We have 15 seconds, and these women and youth sailors are setting up beautifully. 10 seconds.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
And there we go, the last race for these women and youth sailors. A great start, and I mean, that really shows how skillful our youth sailors are.
It really is. That was quite a challenge to get untangled from that upland mark, get back down to the start of the race.
In time, too.
In time. So this is the last official race of summer 2021, U.S. Sailing IQ Foil 6-week tour. It's been a remarkable summer. Great experience for all these adult, youth, junior men and women sailors. We've had an incredible time at Long Beach and then up at the Columbia River Gorge and now in San Francisco.
And those are some incredible venues, too.
Okay.
All right, so I think we're actually going to go to a short break. But thank you for joining us, and we'll get back to you soon.
Yeah, that was it for the IQ foil, and we are gonna get ready for the kiters to go out.
I'm excited for this
Yeah,
one.
it looks like I can see some whitecaps coming
Me
up
too.
closer to the Golden Gate, so it's gonna be very exciting watching those guys racing. And we are coming back. This is a time for you to get some snacks, something to drink, and get ready because we have more action for you. We are coming back in a few minutes. go. Formula Kite Spain Series first race. Man, oh, we got a crash. We got a huge tangle on the starting line. Look at that. Teo, Cuddy, Alejandro, Simon, and pretty much the half of the fleet is getting tangled on the starting line. I can't believe it. I can't remember when was the last time I saw a huge tangle like that.
Good. Go! Come on! Contact!
Dennis Taradin, he's approaching to the second mark for the first lap. Man, Carlos got tangled with the black kite. Gisela Pulido barely went in front of them, and she just saved it. Approaching the second place, Dennis Taradin is taking over. Marcus Edley and Whitworth from him. Dennis Taradin, what's happening? Dennis lost it with a massive crash. Almost got tackled with Marcus. This is insane. Formula Kite Spain Series second race. Everyone clear. Dennis Taradin, he's coming. Marcus Edrigan, he's stuck in right in front of Dennis Taradin. Oh, my friend. Oh, Dennis Taradin, he almost killed Marcus Edrigan. This is insane. Look at that boy flying in front of Marcus. Dennis just saved his life. This is insane. What's happening, my friend? He's crashing, he's landing on top of the fleet. They were coming on a starboard. This is insane. I hope they're okay down there. And this is what happening when you put the fastest fleet on the water all together in one single place. This is what you get. This is
All right, welcome back to our first race for these kite surfers. It's the last day of racing for the U.S. Open Sailing event. We have some really tight racing. We are about 1 or 2 minutes away from the start. We'll get an update on the radio in a second. Kai Calder is in first place going into today's racing.
Flag.
We are 30 seconds away from U flag coming down. So Kai Calder has a pretty nice lead.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
So that was 1 minute till the start of this last race. So behind Kai, we've got Johnny Heineken. He is only 2 points out of first place. He was leading the racing going into yesterday, so it's still anybody's regatta. Marcus Edegram has 18 points, also pretty close. There's only going to be 3 races today, though, so we'll see if he can climb up. Will Sear had a really great day of racing yesterday also. All right, it looks like these guys are setting up for the start of this race, so let's see what they do.
Flag down.
All right, we've actually got 20 seconds till our U flag goes down, so that means we're a little bit over a minute away from the start of this race.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Less than a minute to class flag down, and that will be a start.
All right, 1 minute till the start of this race. This is the first race for these kite foilers on the last day of the U.S. Open Regatta. We've got a flood tide and very medium breeze. It's a lot lighter than the forecast was predicting, so it's going to be a lot of mode switching, adaptive sailing, and it's going to be hard to keep up on those foils, so we'll see how they do. It has been building a little bit.
Flag down, this is a start.
30 seconds till the start of this race. But I think it's going to be some really great racing. 20 seconds till the start of this race. Everybody is setting up. 15 seconds.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, march.
All right, nice start. A little bit of a line sag, though. The sailors by the boat definitely had a nicer start. I think we've got some immediate tacks over happening. Not totally surprising. Ooh, a little bit of a wipeout. Yeah, it's a little surprising these people are tacking out so fast because we've got a flood tide. That being said, there's a little bit more pressure on the outside, and it's pretty light today, so it's probably going to be advantageous to go out there. Got a lot of crashing going on out there. I think it's really hard to stay out on your foil right now. All right, we've got some sailors coming close to the shore. That's definitely standard San Francisco Bay tactics, getting into that flood relief over here. You can see those tide lines on the water. Marcus Edegram flying the yellow kite, always in the front. He's had a really solid regatta. He had kind of a rough day yesterday, a lot of touching down, and that's only going to be harder to stay foiling today with the lighter air. Lots of the fleet has tacked over onto port and is going across. I think they're going to get a little bit more pressure out in the middle, but it's pretty steady across the course, so I don't know how much more pressure they're going to get out there. Marcus is in a pretty good space. He does have this orange kite to weather of him that's doing really well, so we'll see. I think Will Sear is on that green kite in the front, the fly surfer kite. He had a really good day yesterday. Kind of a rough start on Friday, but he has been climbing up in the ranks all regatta. So I think he's definitely stoked with his performance right now in the lead of this race.
Yeah, and this is very exciting. We can see that Kite Calder, he's again right there fighting for the top. Will Sear is leeward from him. Marcus Hedegaard with a good position, and we can see that Daniela Moros also right there on the top 5 places. And let's see who's gonna be able to get to the top mark. I cannot see Johnny Heineken right now, but probably my friend, I can see Johnny Heineken and Evan Heffernan. They're a little bit farther on the left-hand side of the course right now, and they have a good pace right now. The two of them, they're flying that blue kite awesome, so that's going to be very exciting approaching to the top mark because Will Sear, Kite, Marcus and Daniela, they are farther on their right-hand side of the course. It's going to be exciting once they're approaching on the starboard.
Right, and just for reference for our viewers at home, Kite Calder is flying that orange kite, Will Sear is flying the green kite, Marcus Edegram is flying that yellow kite, and Daniela is in the other green kite in 4th right now.
Yeah, that's incredible. We can see that they are still going on port tack towards the top mark, and they are going so fast right now. Let's see who's going to... Here we go. Will Sear, he's throwing the first tack, and followed by Kite Calder. This is incredible. Marcus Edegram in 3rd position.
Incredible speeds. It looks like Kai is in the lead coming to this weather mark. Nice bear away by Kai and Will Sear, followed by Marcus Edegram. I think this blue kite behind Marcus is Johnny Heineken. Then it looks like Daniela Moroz, and I'm not sure who that other blue kite is, but it could be Neil Marcellini, also a Bay Area hometown sailor turned kiter, so it's exciting to see him up there.
Yeah, and here we go. Kite Calder throwing the first jibe. Marcus Edegran pretty much throwing the jibe at the same time. Will's here going for the jibe a couple seconds after him. Johnny Hennigan, he decided to go also for the early jibe close to Marcus. Evan Heffernan throwing the jibe right now, followed by Daniela Moros and Noah. He's stacking right now. I guess Noah, he's from Texas, and he's doing an incredible job out there. And look at that Kite Calder. He's on the flow, my friend. He's doing an incredible job. He's leading, and hopefully he can hold that lead until the end.
Just for reference, what these sailors are doing right now, by staying out in the middle, they are taking advantage of a stronger flood tide, riding that all the way down to the leeward gate. They're also got some more pressure out there, so a really smart course to go down there. I'm guessing they'll come to the inside gate, though, for the rounding and try and go up the shore, but we'll see what they do because there is more wind on the outside, so you never know. And like we saw with the Windsurfers this morning, the more pressure, the better, has been advantageous for these foilers.
And Marcus Edegran, look at that. Will's here. I don't know what happened to him, but this is a great race. It's going to be so tight around the gate on the bottom of the course. Kite Calder still holding. Marcus is right there close to him, closing the gap little by little. Johnny Hennigan in third position. Looks like he's going to be able to get in front of Will's here. Let's see what's going to happen approaching to the gate. Marcus is leeward from Kite Calder. Maybe he's going to play the leeward boat with the right weight. I don't know. Looks like Kite Calder, he's bringing the kite a little higher. Yes, he's going for the left-hand side of the course, followed by Marcus Edegran. Oh, my friend, that's so tight.
Wow.
Look at how nice rounding.
Incredible rounding for Marcus. He really executed a wide and tight rounding, slightly better than Kai, I would say. Kai is rocking that orange kite and Marcus right behind him, but it looks like Marcus has really found his groove again after a pretty rough day yesterday. A little bit of a touchdown there, but he seems really locked in.
Yeah, you can see that he's doing something. I mean, he's trimming his kite, but he was kind of like, I don't know, doing something with his hands. But look at that Kite Calder. We can see that he's not even looking behind. That's a sign that he's so focused right now on that board. He's so focused on the foil, on the speed, and he's not even looking now. He's looking behind to see if it's clear to tack, and here we go.
Tack.
Nice tack. Oh my God, great execution. That's high performance.
Yeah,
that's incredible level.
And we've seen Kai do this all weekend. He's not leaving any seconds on the race course. He's making every movement so smooth, and he's sailing a really great regatta.
He's doing incredible, and he is on fire. Kite Calder is on fire right now, but Marcus Edegran, he is also right there, followed by Johnny Hennigan. Marcus, he's going for another tag. He's trying to get away.
Yeah.
He's trying to go away from the tide right now, and he wants to stay a little bit closer closer to the
I saw
beach.
Johnny Heineken actually take a hitch out to the right, and then now he's going back towards the left, which is interesting. But I think that's going to help him stay in more pressure and also get the current relief a little bit later in the upwind. But still, it's gonna be cool when they all come back together.
Yeah, and we can see that pretty much the half of the fleet, they decided to go. Okay, Johnny Hennigan and Evan Heffernan, Kite Calder, they are staying on the left-hand side of the course, but Will Sear, I guess that was Will Sear, decided to go to keep going on the middle of the course on the right-hand side. Let's see what's gonna happen. Kite Calder, he tagged one more time, and oh my friend, Will Sear, he's putting the risk. That's the thing. He's taking his own decisions right now, and we're gonna see if that's gonna pay off towards the approaching to the top mark.
And you know, Will Sears from Southern California, really known for light air sailing, and that's what we've got today. So he's really using his light air knowledge and staying in the pressure, staying in the puffs, and sailing a really great upwind leg right now.
Yeah, and we're gonna find out if he's gonna be able to make it in front of Kite Calder. So far, so good for Marcus Edegran. He looks like he had a good, nice sleep, and he's not crashing at all. Looks like he is very consistent right now. Evan Heffernan a little bit farther. Oh, but come on, Marcus. Evan a little bit farther on the left-hand side.
And it looks like Kai is honestly gaining on Marcus and possibly even Will. So it's still anybody's game, and Kai has been sailing impeccable races these last few days. So, you know, it's really between those top three guys, anyone's race.
And here we go. Will Sear is approaching on a starboard. Oh, my friend. Let's see if he's going to be able to get in front of Marcus Edegran. Oh, my friend. Marcus Edegran tracking right in front of Will Sear. Oh, my friend. Kite Calder attacking. Will Sear is fighting for that top place. Kite Calder approaching the top mark. And that was such an incredible fight between the two of them. Look at that. Neck to neck, board to board. The two of them, they're so close. Kite Calder going around the top mark in first position, holding that lead. Oh, my friend, hopefully they're not going to get tangled. Marcus Edegran holding his kite a little bit. Right there, holding the second place, followed by Will Sear. Marcus throwing the jab, and he's taking his own decisions. Right now, I can tell you, Marcus is playing the game right now. He's putting the cards on the table right now.
Yes, he is. And Johnny Heineken just rounded in 4th position. These top 4 sailors have been duking it out all weekend. Kite Calder is sailing a great race, leading everybody out into the stronger flood tide, riding that downwind and going towards the finish.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Right now, I think Marcus is in offense right now, and Kite Calder is defense mode right now. But Kite Calder needs to put the work. He needs to start thinking, what is he going to do next? And here we go. Marcus, he's doing it. Yes, he's leading right now, and this is going to be very interesting approaching to the gate. Marcus decided to go for the early jab before Kite Calder, and hopefully let's see what's going to happen. Look at that. They are board to board, neck to neck. That's incredible. First race for the U.S. Open sailing here in San Francisco, California. I was telling you, my friend, this is Hydrofoil Racing, one of the fastest class in the world.
Right, and Marcus and Kai are neck and neck. They've been this way all weekend. But, I mean, you can't write off Will Sear yet. He's an incredible light air sailor, and he's right behind them.
And Kite Calder, he's the one with the right away leeward from Marcus Edegran. Let's see, it looks like Marcus Edegran, he's getting in front of Kite Calder, my friend. He's holding that pace. He's holding that foil, lot of power. He's looking around, my friend. They are gonna get into a great fight. Let's see what's gonna happen, because Kite Calder cannot close the door approaching to the gate because Marcus is gonna gain the rights.
Right, and an amazing recovery from Marcus after a kind of a rough day yesterday. Now he's coming out of the gates, fighting for first place in this race. What an
Oh, my
incredible
friend,
grounding.
Marcus barely made it. He was running out of wind, and he barely made it. His kite was collapsing, and now his kite is full of power. Kite Calder, look at that foil. He's pushing very hard. The jibe. This is the jibe. The jibe for the bullet. Here we go. Marcus Edegran throwing the jibe. Kite Calder a little bit higher. They are switching spots. No, my friend, what's going to happen? Marcus, hold it. He's about to crash. Kite Calder is leeward. Marcus is holding. He's playing the game. He's going leeward, shooting for that pin on the finish line, and he's holding the first place. Kite Calder so close. Let's see if he's going to be able to do it. Come on, Marcus. You're only a few meters to cross the finish line, and Marcus did it. Marcus got the first bullet of the first race for the U.S. sailing. Kite Calder so close. Good job, guys.
An amazing race, an amazing recovery from Marcus after yesterday. Super awesome sailing. So I think he's probably stoked on that. Kite Calder, I think he's not gonna let that go though. He's gonna be bringing it for the next race.
Yeah, I think Kite Calder right now, he's like, whew, my friend Marcus now, he's putting the work, because Marcus, unfortunately, yesterday, he couldn't hold that consistency.
No,
he was
kept
crashing,
touching down,
flying around, getting the board off his feet, and he couldn't really make it. And that was such an amazing race while we watched. Kite Calder, Marcus, Johnny crossing the finish line, I guess, in 3rd position, followed by Will Sear, and that was the thing.
And just a reminder for our people at home, Kite Calder is in that orange kite, Marcus is in that yellow kite, and Johnny Heineken is that blue kite.
Yeah, and you know, that's one of the things here. Like, we saw that Will Sear was leading, or one of the top places around the top mark in the first lap, and he couldn't hold it. Yeah. But that was the thing. I think it was such an interesting move from Marcus going around the top mark on the 2nd lap.
Right. One thing I've noticed about Will Sear's sailing is he seems super launched upwind. He can really play those shifts, but he seems not to be able to hold it so much on the downwind. So I think once he gets that unlocked, he's going to be a force to reckon with out there. Yeah,
that's one of the things that we have been watching, that somehow he's losing some power on the downwinds. But I think Will Sear, when he's holding smaller kites with bigger wind, he's able to put that great angle, and also holding the speed all the way from the top mark all the way to the bottom. But we'll see. The wind, I can see more wind coming from the Golden Gate, and probably they're going to end it up overpowered for the next 2 races.
Yeah, and talk about Daniela Moroz on an incredible first leg up there with the top 5 sailors. I think she was probably stoked on that first leg.
Yeah, I can see that the riders now, 2 riders are in the water right now. But, man, That was so fast.
So fast.
That was like a blink. They are done with that first race,
And there's
that was
only 2 more races left for this entire
yeah,
regatta.
2 more races. Kite Calder came on first place this morning, and we are gonna go for a break, and we are coming back with more action. Get some water and some snacks. We're coming back.
I think everyone really struggles to describe whether you're falling on a kite, falling on a windsurfer, falling on a boat, but kiting's pretty, I think the most special, because we're not attached to anything, it's just us, the board and the kite. It's a real sense of absolute freedom on top of a board, and the speed is kind of just a byproduct of that, which is, pretty amazing. I love competition, and the feeling of winning, going through the finish line at 40 knots, knowing that you've won the race, there's just no feeling like it.
The most addictive feeling I can get when I'm on my foil. You feel in total control, you feel like nothing can like stop you, and you feel like you just go over the boundaries of physics because you're so fast and with such a different angle to the wind, and you need to put a lot of time and energy, and you need to be really committed. But the same with everything you want to success in your life, you need to just go for it and spend time. In the end, that's really an amazing feeling. And
with the racing is just everything combined, like the start, the tactics, the kite you choose, even your stance, like it's just a whole new thing, You just have to trust, and then like the adrenaline you get as well, like going so fast, like above the water on the foil, and I don't know, it feels nice. Yeah, I like it, the adrenaline. With the racing, it's just you're faster. You get first to the finish line, you win. The one who gets first is the winner, and this is something really rewarding, because when you perform good and you're the fastest on the race, it's like an amazing feeling, and nobody can take it from you because you won. It's like clear.
For me, like just freedom, that you're not fixed in one place. That freedom to do whatever you want out there. There are no boundaries, or almost no boundaries. And that's what I love, and everyone should try to get.
And there was the thing about the kitesurfing, that you get the freedom. You can go in the water, there are no rules. You can go right, left, up, down, anywhere. You can do whatever you want, and no one can tell you anything. And the time just flies like this. And like you can overtake one girl or one guy, and then he overtakes you, do a little mistake, and someone overtakes you, and then you push yourself, and boom, you overtake him on the finish. So you have so many opportunities to do well, better, and just have fun. I think it's amazing. It's hard to explain, like you have to try it, but you just get the emotions from that. That's, I think, the best part.
It's just so fast. I think the adrenaline you get sometimes in sailing is all the time in kitesurfing, because everything's so fast. Everything moves so fast and so quickly. You almost have to not think about things, because if you think about it, it happens too quickly and you miss opportunities and stuff. It's totally worth it. It takes a lot of determination to begin with. I think the first big step into hydrofoiling is very challenging, just learning how to tack and jibe, but just stick at it. and just have a positive attitude towards it, and it will be great. It's so fun. It's total freedom of the ocean. Amazing.
And here we go. We are pretty much in sequence. 2 minutes left for the start. This is going to be the second race of the day, the final day of the U.S. Open sailing here in San Francisco.
Yeah, some incredible racing between especially Kai Calder, Marcus Edegram, Johnny Heineken. Really excited to see who takes this next one. Will Sear also. Incredible racing.
Yeah, let's see what Marcus is going to do. Hopefully they don't get too excited, you know, because that's one of the other things. I mean, at least in Hydrofoil racing, like also when you are overexcited, it could be projected into your foil. Believe it or not, but that's true.
Right. We're coming up on 1 minute left till the start. So it's pretty.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Less than a minute to class flag down and a start. This will be a start.
All right, so we've got less than a minute till the start of the second race of the last day of sailing. The sailors are starting to set up. I'm excited to see what they do. I'm guessing it's... 45 seconds till the start of this race. The sailors are all starting. All on starboard right now. A few stragglers on port, actually, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I guess they are a little... No, they are going to attack in front of the fleet. That's what they do. They really like to do that.
All right, we've got
the
30
good thing
seconds.
Is 30 seconds, and let's see what's going to happen.
20 seconds till the start of this race.
15 seconds.
15 seconds.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
And here we go, the second race of the day. U.S. Open sailing here in San Francisco, and looks like all of them that were clear. And we can see that some of the riders there are going for the early tag. Marcus Edergren in the yellow kite in the middle of the fleet. Right there, Johnny Heineken also in the middle with the blue kite. Kite Calder found himself between Marcus and Johnny Heineken, and Evan Haffernan with a good position. I believe he's the windward from the entire fleet right now.
Yeah, and something so cool about that start is in our first start of the day, we had a lot of line sag, which means sailors weren't quite at the start when they started, but this one, everybody was right there. Nobody was over, but they really are hitting the start right at go.
And that's the thing, like when you switch kites for a bigger or smaller kite, that timing changed. So every single kite size, it's a little bit different, because with the 20-meter kite, it's so slow. But when you are flying the 11-meter, the 9-meter, everything goes so fast, and you gotta time it differently. And here we go. Pretty much the entire fleet is stacking right now. We can see that Marcus Edergren, he's still holding the pace. He's doing incredible. And we can see also Kite Calder, all of them pretty much going on the left-hand side of the course, going on port towards the top mark right now.
Speaking of changing conditions, we're also seeing a little bit of pressure build, some more white caps on the water. I think this is going to make the sailing a little bit more exciting for our sailors and for our viewers at home.
Yeah, and I can see, I don't know, what do you think, Kelsey? I can see that the wind shifted a little bit more from south. I don't know, because we can see that those, the kites they have a different angle right now.
Yeah, definitely. It was predicted to shift a little bit, or it'll be a little bit gustier from the south today. I think that's why our kites look so lifted on that port tack upwind.
Yeah, oh, my friend Daniela Moros, she just crashed. She lost it right there in the middle of the course. But we can see that wheels here. This is an incredible view right now. We can see Marcus Edergren right there in the middle. Evan Haffernan looks like he's in front of Kite Calder. Looks like Will Sear also is in a good position right now. Something happened to Johnny Heineken. He's a little bit behind, but not so far. This is so early. Evan Haffernan, oh, my friend, he's cavitating a little bit with that foil. Will Sear is getting closer to, oh, my friend, to Marcus Edergren. Look at that tight fight between the top 5 riders.
Right, and just for our viewers at home, once again, Will Sear is on that green fly surfer kite in the lead, followed by Marcus on the yellow. Is that Johnny Heineken on the blue, or is that Evan Haffernan?
That's Evan Haffernan in third position right there. And yeah, Johnny Heineken is behind them. Let's see who's going to be the first one to find the lane line, because that's incredible how Will Sear was able to get in front of Marcus Edergren. I don't know what happened. And here we go. Pretty much Kite Calder, Evan Haffernan, Will Sear, Marcus, they're attacking pretty much at the same time. And they looks like, oh, my friend, Will Sear is on first position right now. Marcus Edergren on second. The fight very tight between Evan and Kite Calder is happening right now. Johnny Heineken in fifth place, followed by Daniela Moros on the fly surfer green kite.
And an incredible few races for Daniela. I think these are some of her best for this whole weekend. She's up with the top 5 riders, which is not an easy thing to do.
And I can see that it's a huge puff right there, close to the top mark, and that they're going to accelerate so much going around the top mark. Hopefully that's going to be a good thing for Will Sear, that he really likes to go with a lot of power on his kite. And oh, my friend, the speed on Marcus Edergren, he's getting, I bet he's doing somewhere more than 33 knots for sure. Look at that, that's incredible. Looks like Will Sear is not able to keep up with the angle. Marcus is getting ready for the jibe. Great execution. Will Sear, toe to toe. Oh, he touched down a little bit. The rotation was a little bit too slow, but he's right there. Evan Haffernan in third position, followed by Kite Calder. Johnny Heineken throwing the jibe as well. Kite Calder deciding to go for the jibe, and here we go. Evan Haffernan also throwing the jibe. Oh, my friend, Evan lost it. Oh, my friend,
And
he's crashed. He
can
crashed.
see Marcus and Will Sear staying in this nice little vein of pressure as they go down. They're also taking advantage of stronger flood out in the middle of the course, going to those gates. They have Kai Calder on their heels, but they have a pretty nice lead. Johnny Heineken, Will Sear, you know, we've seen all day his downwind speed is not as good as his upwind speed, but we'll see if he can recover on the next leg. Marcus is sailing an unbelievable regatta this last day of racing at the U.S. Open Sailing, so we'll see if he can hold it and kind of climb up into a podium position for the end of this regatta.
Oh, my friend, Marcus Edergran is extending the lead right now. He created a bigger gap, and he's approaching to the gate, followed by Will Sear, and the fight right now, look at that, Johnny Heineken now, he's on third position, tight fight between him and Kite Calder. The two of them, they are fighting right now. Marcus Edergran, for sure, I believe he's going to take the decision to go on the left-hand side of the course. Look at that. Nice rounding. Very good, very consistent. Followed by Will Sear, also going around the gate. Yes, Johnny Heineken made it in front of Kite Calder in that downwind, putting better angle and better speed. And Daniela Moros also approaching to the gate.
You know what I can say about that rounding for Johnny Heineken is he really executed a textbook sailing rounding, staying wide at the beginning and tight at the end. Some of our other competitors aren't doing those same nice roundings, but he's really squeaking out every last bit of weather position on his competition. Really nice rounding, and definitely utilizes that sailing knowledge that he has.
Yeah, and you really, and those roundings are very important, because if you do a good rounding, you can end it up like a lot of meters in the better position, either like going on around the top mark and approaching to the gate, and that's so important.
It looks like Marcus Edergram on the yellow kite and Will Sear have both tacked over into the stronger pressure on the outside. The course is really, there's a lot more pressure all over the course right now. We can see it picking up. And in the next hour, it's forecasted to be about 24 knots out here. So we'll see if it keeps building. It has been a little lighter than the forecast all day. So, you know, that might be a factor, but I think it's going to get pretty exciting for the rest of this race and for the next one as well.
Yeah, and can Marcus Edergran, he's finally looks like he's holding that pace. No mistakes right now. So far, so good for him. Look at that. He created a bigger gap on that rounding. Will Sear, he's still on second place, followed by Kite Calder. The tie fight between him and Johnny Heineken. Hopefully, Marcus is going to be able to stay consistent until the end of the course, but I can see that he is getting into a stronger pressure over there on the left-hand side of the course.
Well, I tell you what, if Marcus keeps sailing the way he's been sailing today, he's going to have no problem holding this lead. He's just keeps extending on the rest of the fleet. Will Sear's also sailing an incredible regatta, so I'm really cheering for him, and I hope he can keep this distance on Kite Calder and Johnny Heineken on the blue kite.
Yeah, because those guys are on fire. I love them, my friend. They are doing an incredible job out there.
Right.
And we can see that Johnny Heineken, probably he's going to be able to catch up with Will Sear. Johnny Heineken is doing very good right now. He has his kite very close to the water. Will Sear getting right there. He's right there next to Marcus.
Right, and we've seen tight racing all over this course this weekend, but especially with these 4 or 5 top sailors, they have been just at each other's heels all weekend. So it's really incredible. We still have no idea who's going to be on the podium. Everybody is sailing their hardest out there right now.
Yeah, because Kite Calder was leading, and here we go. Marcus Edergran, he's the first one to find the lane line. Will Sear, he couldn't make it in front of Marcus, but he touched down a little bit. But that was a good tag, followed by Kite Calder. Oh, my friend, Johnny Heineken is going to attack right in front of Kite Calder, and that's going to be so tight, approaching to the top mark, and hopefully Johnny Heineken made it to the lane line, and he's going to be able to go around the top mark, because he has like 2 kite lengths between him and Kite Calder. Let's see if he's going to be able to make it. So far, so good for Marcus Edergran. He's still
just
holding.
Extending on the rest of the
It's
fleet.
amazing what he's doing. He's controlling that foil very well. He's got nice rounding, and look at that. Look at that, how he's creating that gap. Look at that position. The foil is looking good. And look at this incredible jibe. World-class performance by Marcus Edergran.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Staying in that pressure out there. He's really figured out San Francisco Bay sailing, and I think he's having a super solid day out there. We also, in our kind of second group of sailors, we have Evan Hafferman coming up right now and Daniela Moros. So that's exciting to see her up at the top as well.
That's amazing what Marcus is doing out there. I think, maybe he went into a big meditation on some yoga or something because he's back on the flow. He's back on the floor right now, and he's holding that pace, leading the entire fleet right now. Johnny Hennigan, he's deciding to go for the early jibe. Oh, my friend Marcus also, he's going for the jibe. Johnny Hennigan probably is going to be able to cut in front of Will Sear. Oh, he's doing it. Johnny Hennigan looks like he's coming. He's approaching, and he's taking the second place right now, crossing in front of Kite Calder. My friend Johnny Hennigan is doing it.
Right, and it looks like, we've seen this all weekend with Will Sear kind of struggling to hold his position downwind, but Kite Calder first took over Will Sear, and now Johnny Heineken has taken over both Kite Calder on the orange kite and Will Sear on the green kite. We love to see Johnny Heineken doing really great here in the Bay because he's a hometown favorite.
Yeah, and I can see there's even people on the beach cheering for Johnny Heineken. We have a couple of people right here, and look at that. The fight right there between Kite Calder and Johnny Heineken, so close. Kite Calder has it right away right now. Let's see if Johnny Heineken is going to be able to call for room. Marcus Edegran, he needs to catch up. He needs to keep going. He's slowed down a little bit. Maybe Kite Calder and Johnny Heineken, they're in a greater rhythm. Oh, they're about to get tangled, the two of them. Kite Calder, oh, my friend, this is so tight. This is the jibe of the race. This is going to be the jibe of the race. Marcus is leading, and he needs to hold that pressure because the three kiters, they are coming behind, full speed, on fire.
Great
Johnny
jibe for
Heineken,
Marcus.
oh, my friend, Kite Calder, he's about to lose his kite. They're gonna get tangled. I can't believe it. Johnny Heineken, Kite Calder, he lost it. What happened? He's doing an attack.
Will Sear made it in front of Kite Calder.
Yeah, something happened. Kite Calder. Oh, you know what? Maybe he got protested by Johnny Heineken, and he's doing a 360 right now. Oh, nice celebration by Marcus Edegran, taking his second bullet. What a great job, my friend.
Man.
You got the second
you know
bullet.
What? It goes to show what a difference a day can do. I think Marcus probably got into his head early yesterday after not having a great first race. And then, he came back out to prove something today, and he's doing exactly that.
Exactly. I will say it, and that's right. He's proving something right now, that he has the skills.
Right.
He has that ability to lead that fleet and to seal the deal, getting those bullets, because we seen that. Like, no mistakes, taking the right decisions. He's able to do it. That was very tight fight.
These top four guys, anything can happen.
Anything could happen, literally, and that was such an incredible race. We are gonna go for a break, and we are coming back for the last race of the U.S. Open Sailing here in San Francisco, California.
Can't wait.
Kite Spain Series first race. Man, oh, we got a crash. We got a huge tangle on the starting line. Look at that. Teo, Cuddy, Alejandro, Simon, and pretty much they have all of these getting tangled on the starting line. I can't believe it. I can't remember when was the last time I saw a huge tangle like that.
Good.
Dennis Taradin, he's approaching to the second mark for the first lap. Man, Carlos got tangled with the black kite. Gisela Pulido barely went in front of them, and she just saved it.
Last race of the last day of sailing here at the U.S. Open Sailing Regatta. We have an incredible fleet of really competitive sailors. I have no idea who's going to take the win because all of our top 5 sailors have been so incredibly close, and I'm really excited to see how this one shakes out.
Yeah, it was such a tight fight between all of them. I needed to sit down and take a break, take some water because I was shaking. That was a lot of adrenaline this last race. They were so close. They were almost tangled on the last rounding. And I think Johnny Heineken, yes, he protested Kite Calder. And that's the reason why Kite Calder, he couldn't.
He did a circle.
Yeah, exactly. He needed to do the 360. And that's the thing. Look at this.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. The start.
So that marks 1 minute till the start of the last race. Looks like our kiters are setting up to leeward of the start line. I'm really excited to see this one. I think everybody's gonna 45 seconds to the start.
And that's gonna be very exciting. Let's see what's gonna happen. The conditions are getting a little bit stronger. I think 4 or 5 knots, maybe not much. But here we go, 30 seconds for the start for this last race of the U.S. Open Sailing.
On our last start, the sailors really closed that line sag. So I think that this is going to be an incredible start as well. About 15 seconds till this start.
15 seconds.
All right, here they come.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
And here we go, the last race of the day, the U.S. Open Sailing here in San Francisco, California. And they're off, all of them clear. And we can see that Johnny Heineken is right there in the middle. Someone is going for the early tag. Johnny Heineken is on a good position. Wiltshire is a little bit tight between him and Kite Calder. Marcus Edegran with the yellow kite is right there in the middle. We can see then Evan Heffernan in the blue kite also in a good position. Looks like he's in a good lead right now.
Yeah, everybody's coming towards the shore again, getting into that flood relief. One person in the back is going on starboard. He's going to get some more pressure out there, but there's going to be heavier current, so I don't really know if I like his approach, but we'll see how that pays off. Looks like the wind's picked up a little bit, so I think this is going to be a really great race.
Yeah, that we can see that more wind is coming. It's coming towards the riders. There we go. They are tacking right now. We can see Wiltshire tacking. Oh, at the same time, Marcus Edegran and the yellow kite. Evan Heffernan also tacking. Kite Calder and Wiltshire, they're a little bit ahead of the game. They are pretty much, the two of them, very close. Kite Calder, it's windward from Wiltshire. And this is so exciting. It's going to be another, already so far, this is so tight.
Right, and Marcus Edegran is to weather of the entire fleet. you know, he's been really fast at kind of squeaking out little bits of acceleration, so we'll see if he's able to capitalize. It looks like maybe Johnny Heineken is to weather of him, and Will Sear on the green kite is just above him, but also a little bit behind.
And actually, I'm sorry, I was wrong. That's Daniela Moros close to Kite Calder on the yellow kite. That's Daniela Moros on the green and fly surfer kite. And she's right there fighting with Kite Calder. She's in a good position right now. We can see that Evan Heffernan, that one more time, he's farther here on the left-hand side of the course. That's Will Sear behind Marcus, and Johnny Heineken somehow it's a little behind the flip, but hold on, my friend, because this is too early. He wasn't in a good position in the last race on the first lap, and he ended up on second place.
Right, and it's amazing to see Daniela up there. I think this is probably one of her best races of the entire series, so I'm really excited to see.
Yeah,
and
I'm
hopefully
excited.
She can hold it.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. Let's see what she's gonna do. What kind of
Johnny
game
Heineken
she's gonna
is
play.
up at the top of the fleet as well right now, and then. Yeah, Daniela and Will are right next to each other. That's awesome to see those two green kites together.
And Kite Calder now looks like we're gonna see. This is very tight because Kite Calder is gonna try to throw the tack, but Evan Heffernan is so close to him. Let's see what Evan is gonna do. There's two things that could happen. Evan could just dock Kite Calder, or he could tack immediately once Kite Calder is tacking, and here we go.
Right now.
Yeah, he's holding. Evan is going for it. Yeah.
We'll
my
see
friend,
it.
he's crashing a little bit, and he's tacking. Oh, my friend. Great job by Evan. Marcus Edergran tacking Daniela Moros, I think. Yes, she's on third position,
place.
I guess. And look at that. Now the fight is between Evan Heffernan and Kite Calder with the blue kite and the orange. They are fighting. Oh, my friend, Kite Calder.
Kite
He
Calder.
almost lost it. He almost lost it. Evan now, he's taking the lead in just 2 seconds, and that's the thing. Here we go. Evan Heffernan throwing Alva line out of the depower, powering up the Kite Calder, crossing right there in second place, followed by Will Sear, I guess. And that's Marcus Edergran and Johnny Heineken. So this is so tight. We don't know what's going to happen.
Johnny Heineken has been always able to squeak out these perfect mark roundings, always doing wide and tight roundings, and really kind of getting an edge on the competition. So even though he was the second blue kite to do that rounding, I noticed that he gained a lot on the rest of those boats by doing a nice rounding. They've got Kite Calder going out. He's going to have some more pressure out there, some more current. Really nice position for him, and as this fog continues to burn off, more pressure is going to fill, and these guys are going to have a really great rest of their race.
Yeah, and this is so amazing because Kite Calder, once he found that lane line towards the gate, he's going to be crossing with the right of way on a starboard.
Right.
We can see that Will Sear is farther ahead. But let's see what's going to happen. Here we go. This is Kite Calder throwing the jive. He's coming on a starboard. Evan Heffernan and Johnny Heineken, they are approaching on port, and Kite Calder is crossing in front of them. Oh, my friend, Kite Calder holding the first place. That's an incredible. Look at that great shot. Will Sear, look at that incredible cover. But the two of the blue kites, that's Evan Heffernan in third position, followed by Johnny Heineken. But hold on, because Johnny Heineken is closing that gap. He's getting on third position, and he's about to get in front of Will Sear, getting an incredible speed. He's crossing. Oh, my friend, Johnny Heineken is putting the example. He's delivering right now, approaching to the gate on second place. Will Sear holding that kite a little bit higher. Marcus Edergran crossing the gap. The three of them, they are so close. Let's see what's going to happen around the gate. Oh, my friend, something happened.
Great rounding from Marcus on that yellow kite. Really did a nice wide and tight rounding. He squeaked out some weather position on Kite Calder and Johnny Heineken right there. He's in a really great spot. If he can just squeak out a little bit more boat speed, I think he could honestly take this race, and he's had a super great first two races. So.
Yeah, looks like Will Sear, in the last second, he decided to go on the right-hand side of the course. I think he couldn't make it in front of Marcus, and that's the reason why he is like, I'm out of here. I would rather to be clear and not get tangled. Yeah. And that's a good decision because it's too early right now. It's about to be the second lap, and you don't want to end up tangling. This is the last race, and we only have two throwaways.
Demonstrated that he's an incredible upwind sailor. There's going to be more pressure out there, and I really think he is going to have his own lane, and he's going to be able to capitalize on that.
And Kite Calder, he's calling for room. And here we go. Oh, my God. Johnny Heineken covering his position right there. And the two of them, they are fighting for that first place. Look at that. And this is the thing, my friend. This is what's happening. This is happening right here in San Francisco.
Right now.
Right now, my friend. So throw those comments on the chat. And we are here with a lot of action on the water. The fight for the first place is happening right now between Johnny Heineken.
It looks like Will Sear is honestly coming up to the approach for the upwind mark in front of everyone else. He is having an incredible upwind on the outside.
Yeah, looks like he's doing a great job.
Will Sear is in the lead on that green kite. Actually, coming right in front of the clubhouse right now at St. Francis Yacht Club is Marcus leading Kite Calder and then Johnny Heineken. It's still anybody's race, and they're going to come meet Will Sear in a few minutes up by the weather mark, and we're going to see who takes the lead for this weather rounding. I really like where Marcus and Kite Calder are right now. They're a little bit closer to shore. They're in a nice wind vein, but they have less current than Will Sear does on the outside.
And we can see it. And finally, Will Sear, he throw the tag, but looks like Marcus somehow he's getting in front of Johnny Heineken, and now he's for the fight with Kite Calder with the orange kite and Marcus with a yellow. Right now, the three of them pretty much, they are very tight. And we're going to see if Will Sear is going to be able to get in front of them. They are pretty much approaching to the lane line. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Will Sear is looking a little bit far away. Evan Heffernan is on 5th position. Daniela Moros on 6th. And let's see. We are about to get into the last tag of the race.
Right, and I think we can say all of our top 5 sailors have been doing an amazing job, but in particular, Kite Calder on that orange, Marcus on that yellow, and Johnny Heineken on that blue have been the most consistent sailors all weekend, and one of them is taking home the first.
Looks like it's happening one more time. Look at that. Kite Calder leading right now. Johnny Heineken in 3rd, but Johnny Heineken, he did it on the last race, putting a better angle, more speed, and here we go. This is the last downwind of the race.
All right, let's watch Johnny Heineken's mark rounding right here. Oh, super nice. Goes right in between them. He always does a really nice mark rounding there. An early jibe getting out into that stronger flood. He's a San Francisco Bay sailor, and you can tell by the way he's sailing this race course.
Yeah, he's betting for that type, for that current. And here we go. Marcus Edegran, Kite Calder. Look at that beautiful dancing over there on the course, jiving pretty much at the same time. They are putting an amazing job, and Kite Calder is doing an incredible job just defending that lead right now because Marcus, he's very smart, and I know he's going to try to turn into the offense mode in a couple seconds, and let's see who's gonna be the first one to throw the next jab. And here we go. Looks like Kite Calder. Kite Calder decided to go. Johnny Heineken is approaching full speed, my friend.
We've got Will Sear passing in front of the clubhouse right now, but I tell you, Hontos, these sailors woke up this morning and they decided to race hard and be on their A game.
Yeah, and maybe they got a lot of Nutella or something, a lot of carbs, because they are delivering like amazing performance out there. Kite Calder is about to get to the gate on the bottom of the course. Marcus is still holding the 2nd place, but oh my friend, everything could happen. You really never know what's gonna happen. Marcus right there. This is incredible.
Johnny Heineken is really on Marcus Edegram's heels there. But I don't know. Marcus has been sailing so steadily today, and he's honestly coming up on Kite Calder there.
Oh, my friend. Looks like Marcus is losing a little bit of speed. Yeah. Oh, my friend. Johnny Heineken, what? He's throwing another jump. He couldn't make it. Johnny Heineken couldn't make it to the gate. Looks like Marcus Edegran as well. He couldn't make it. And Kite Calder, he's going away on the lead. He's approaching to the last mark. And Marcus Edegran, that was so wide. That maneuver, that's so wide. Probably Johnny Heineken is going to be able to get in front of him. Kite Calder throwing the last jibe on the final approach of the finish line. And looks like he's going to be able to do it. Marcus getting in front of, oh, my friend, that was insane. That's insane. Look at that. Marcus just flew away. Johnny Heineken is on troubles. His kite is tangled. I can't believe it, my friend.
All right, it's going to be who can recover first, I think.
No, Johnny's gone. Johnny's gone.
Johnny's down. Okay, now we've got Evan Hafferman, I think. And then we've got Will Sear on that green kite.
Oh, great celebration by Kite Calder, jabbing the fight for the 2nd place by Evan and Will Sear. Oh, my friend, looks like Will Sear got that 2nd place followed by Evan Heffernan. I'm sorry, I'm so excited. This is incredible. That's a great example, my friend.
Right.
That jibe over there on the last mark, that was insane.
Right.
Insane.
And an incredible regatta, especially for Kite Calder. I mean, he has, I think, won the most bullets, I think, this entire weekend. So I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure he cinched this regatta. What do you think, Hontos?
I think probably he was able to take it. Probably he took the win on this regatta. Oh, my friend, I'm shaking right here on the race deck at the San Francisco Yacht Club.
He left
but let me tell you,
time on that race
Marcus
course.
Edegard, his approach was like everything or nothing
Or
on that
nothing.
jibe.
Right.
Because he shoot for that inside on the mark.
Right.
He knew that Johnny Hennigan was about to throw the down loop, and he put everything on risk. Not only the race, but himself. Because if you get on those lines with that kite getting power, it could be so dangerous. But I seen Marcus, he's very binary, like either black or white. Like
Well,
I win or I not really.
He didn't want to go home tonight and think that he left anything out on the course. And, you know, it didn't pay off this time, but maybe next time.
Exactly, and you are willing to take those risks on the course. If you're really willing to push, really, that was the limit, my friend. Like it could end it up pretty bad. Like the two of them hitting each other. I mean, I don't know. I'm really glad the two of them, they are fine. I can see that. Johnny Hennigan is still. I guess yes, he is still on the water.
Yeah,
his kite is all tangled,
now we're
but
watching
Marcus Edergan is back on the foil.
And now we're watching these guys sail upwind to the beach. That was the last race of the U.S. Open Sailing Regatta, an incredible event. And thank you so much for having me, Hontos.
You're welcome. And that was fantastic race. That was a fantastic regatta. We are so glad. We are so happy to be here at the San Francisco Yacht Club on such an amazing event and U.S. Sailing put together with all of these amazing riders with such a high level, not only here in the United States, but also around the world. A bunch of them, they are racing in international races, and they are on the top of the world. And we watched that. We were able to watch that they were delivering world-class performance, and I'm so happy to be here, and I'm happy that you were able to join us here, Kelsey, and I'm so excited for the future. So that was the last race. Remember, if you like this type of content, if you really like to watch the racers going around the course full speed, my friend, remember to subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and turn on the notifications so you can keep updating that information about how to for racing if we upload a video, if we go live. This transmission was brought by Xports Media. Thanks for watching. My name is Santos Villegas, and see you in the next race.